Hi, this is Jeff, and I thought I'd give you an updated setup tour. I actually have a couple of new things coming in, believe it or not, and I'm broke as hell. But I thought I would share what I've got right now because I know some people actually care about these things. I may be the strangest percussionist on earth, but if it puts it into perspective, Jamie Muir from King Crimson was one of my first influences, so I guess I should be weird. Anyway, let's start from the left. Down on the floor here, because I don't have a place for them yet, is a Mexican drum that I got just about for free. I have no idea where it comes from, no idea what it's called. I'm still researching, trying to figure it out. Excuse me. Next to that is my mini djembe, which is a toca. I'm kind of a toca fan, although I'm not married to any companies right now unless they endorse me. Please don't get vertigo or anything like that from the underwater feeling here. This is my collection of frame drums, everything from a 10-inch Remo pre-tuned to a couple of 22-inch Remo pre-tuned. I've got an 18-inch Bowron over on the left. I have a Chinese Dora authentic, or so they told me, and it cost enough. And this is an actual frame drum from Egypt. It's a tar. I think they call it a tar in Egypt. Nice drum. Next to that, oh well, then I've got to show you my drip pan because that's one of my favorite stealth instruments. I layer it under frame drum parts to add a kind of weird layering effect there. Above that's a good old standard American hi-hat. Thank you, Bill Richardson. Got it for free from him, from his eBay exploits, and I do greatly appreciate it. Because what I've done here is I've got a hi-hat. Next to that is my snare drum, which I hope Bill will tune for me, because apparently I can't tune snare drums anymore. And if you look way down on the floor here, this is called a stomp box. It's a little block of wood that has a pickup in it. You plug it into a bass amp or just a recording unit, and it sounds similar, but not identical, to a bass drum. So I have a little sort of mini drum kit here. To the left of the hi-hat, I've got a stack, one of many. I'm into stacking these days. I have a Sabian 20-inch China. Above that is a 14-inch Sabian Crash. And above that is a Paiste accent cymbal. Next door, we have yet another stack, which is a 16-inch Sabian Ozone. Obviously, I love Sabian. On top of that is a 10-inch Sabian Ozone Splash. And above that is a Wuhan 8-inch Splash, and I love Wuhan, I must say. Love Sabian. Love Wuhan. And oh, let's do a little of this. I'm trying to get the cymbals in a pattern where they work together. It's so far it's coming along. Next to that, I have this wonderful thing I just got. It's a mounted cabasa. Oop! I haven't played with it much. Still trying to get that together, and this needs a serious tightening. Underneath my, there we go, underneath my mounted cabasa is I actually bought a set of Toca chimes, and the bamboo top was completely broken. So I just took the chimes and made them into a little chime rattle there. Above that's another stack. This is an 8-inch Sabian Splash and a 6-inch Sabian Splash. If we move downward, there's something called a wrangle rod. Let me get a beater here while the camera goes nuts. Wrangle rods are made by Purdell, and the interesting thing is this is actually rebar that they use to pour concrete, and they have a distinctive ring to them. What they also have is these nice ridges, so you can get a really nice glissando effect. And I use that probably too much at this point because I'm so happy with it. Next to that is just a standard Black Beauty bell. and the Sumbago bells. I've got to tighten some of this stuff up so it sounds, I get a little bit less ring from other things. To the right of that, I have a pair of D-drum decabons. Above that is, yes, yet another stack. This is a 13-inch Sabian crash. And on top of that is the most wonderful cymbal I think I've ever found. It's a Wuhan, of course, and it's called a linear. It's got 5 sides, and it is just nasty, and it plays wonderfully with the hands. I'm really getting into nasty these days. Below the decabons is your standard LP Cyclops. And then a Toka mini timbale. Now here's where things start to get interesting. I have another bell block combination. This is another Black Beauty with a piccolo jam block on top. I thought that would be nice with the mini timbale if I want to do something that sounds kind of authentic. Those of you who know me know I'm probably not at all authentic. Next to that is another free find, and it's wonderful. It's a 13-inch marching tom, tip tom we used to call them. Little tuning issue there I'm still working out. Above that I have a temple block and a pearl wood block, large I believe. Another wrangle rod back there. Going up top, we have, yes, another stack. This is 2 Paiste accent cymbals, the medium and the high. Whoops. That shouldn't be hitting anything. We'll fix that. And below that, I have a couple of triangles, and I have this wonderful little 5-inch Wuhan gong. And again, it's hitting something too. This never happens until I start videoing stuff. I have some stick holders here and there. This one happens to hold triangle beaters since this is the vicinity for it. This is my cowbell cluster. Lots of fun there. Lots of little Neil Peart rip-offs for that, I'm sure. Next to that, and kind of in the back, is the large Paiste accent cymbal. And a stag ice bell. Again, kind of metallic, kind of nasty. I love that. I recently put a finger cymbal here. That's not going to make a bit of noise with a by the way, I'm using the Steve Smith Tala wands to show you these things because it's a little early in the morning here. Below that, another Cyclops tambourine, and believe it or not, these tambourines are slightly differently pitched, which I find fascinating. Now we're going to the hand section, so I can put the Tala wand down. My hand instruments are kind of all in one place because I'm working out ways to deal with them. On the left is, believe it or not, let's see if I can get it, a Remo Kids Tubano that I currently have mounted on top of a milk crate. Yes, it's strange, but it works, and it has a really nice deep, very deep tone. My friend Bill tells me I don't have much low end. This is my low end now. Next to that is the Stanton Moore Pandero. He tunes it really, really low, and that didn't really work for me because I want these instruments to work together, so I kind of tweaked the tuning on that. Next to that, thanks to Remo and their wonderful djembe holders, I have a 12-inch Dumbeck. Nice color, and a little more depth of sound. Right in front of that is my trusty Toka djembe. Beautiful drum, love it. Next to that, the ubiquitous water bottle. I saw Jeff Haynes playing with Pat Metheny playing a water bottle, and I immediately called every water dispensing company in town to find an empty one. I'm looking for smaller ones now. Behind that is actually, I need the taller wand again, a trash stack. Again, a friend of mine, thank you Stephen Thomas, sent me some old stuff from literally high school. And these cymbals somehow survived from that long. Gives me a nice trashy ringy sound, and I forgot actually the black color sound, which literally I believe I bought my junior year in high school, and I'll be 50 in 3 years. Nice and trashy, and again, it plays really well with the hands, and that was my point. Next to that is a gong. I have no idea what company it came from. It came directly from China via eBay. It's actually a tiger gong, and you literally have to mute this sucker with both hands, which is thrilling to me. I can't play cajon because I have back and neck problems, and the traditional positioning for playing cajon hurts like hell. So to compensate, I have a toe cajon here. For a little bit of a lower sound, and then I have my Meinl bongo cajon, to which I have added a pearl clave block, and I've got on order a Meinl jingle castanet that's going to be attached to the left side, so I have a lot of sound possibilities there. Above that is my, I guess it's ubiquitous by now, my compact conga. Thank you, Giovanni Hidalgo, for inventing that. Next to that is one of my prize cymbals. I just got this recently, and it's amazing. It is a Wuhan 13-inch thin crash, which for hand use is perfect. You play it with anything else, and it still just rings beautifully for me. Now comes the weird part, and it's out of position. I recently, when I got that Mexican drum, I got a cache of Remo Kid drums, and now I'm stacking them on top of my cymbals because I have no place to put them otherwise. I have some stackers on the way, and I'm just going to have drums over my head, I think, for a while. It's a Mike Mangini fetish, I guess. Or is it Mangini? Can't remember. Next to that is another little shaker table, which has my Stephen Perkins, whatever these are called, I've honestly forgotten. Gojo bags, there you go. Some stuff I've made. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen those. Next to that, I have this massive LP clave block. Missed. It happens. Below that, I have my tambourines, and just as a note, both the bongo cajon and the tambourines are hanging on, believe it or not, Rock Band 3 keyboard stands. I didn't know there was a Rock Band 3 keyboard, but I happened to find some at Hudson Salvage Center for next to nothing, and now they're being used as percussion mounts. So, little ingenuity goes a long way, I guess. Below that is my little table of found percussion, toys. Got a bell here. This is something I made myself, and I'm hoping to update and make a little bit less ugly. It's basically a stick shaker, so that I can play patterns I can't play with ordinary shakers. And this is a half dozen egg shakers with just some material I had around covering it up on a block. I've drilled a hole. There it is. And I'm hoping to someday find a way to mount that. The rest of this stuff, most of it I got in the dollar bin at Target. So check out the dollar bin at Target. Next to that, we start getting into the really strange stuff. These are dog chains. I bought at the Salvage Center for I think 50 cents a piece, and they make a nice little rattle. Next to that is a trash can I got at Big Lots for a couple of dollars. It has a little bit, not with this beater, but it has a little bit of that sort of Asian Thai gong quality to it. Plus you can play the top. This is a weed eater blade. Not the right beater for it. Above that is just a regular old metal bowl, and I am going to get different sizes of that. Terry Bozio turned me on to that, not personally because I don't know him. Wish I did. And then here's the weed eater blade. Much better. Under that is something, I don't know exactly what it is. It's designed for barbecue forks or something. I got it in the Walmart clearance. And yes, I have a chair here because I'm going to play frame drums later. But it has a ring here. And if you hit it at the bottom, it has a different ring. So that's, you know, literally like I think $1 is what I paid for this thing. And I got two. So if I need a backup, I have one. Next to that, and we're almost done, is when I got my cache of very, very cheap stuff from a wonderful lady from Kosciuszko, Mississippi, who just wanted to get rid of it. This is a whole bunch of Indian dance bells, Native American dance bells, if you want to be more up with the times. But I strung all of them together, and so now I have this massive bell rattle sound, which I just love. It's beautiful. Let's see. I'm skipping a few things. Down there is my 10-inch Dumbeck, which I put a strap on because I just can't mount it. I have a pair of basically tourist bongos that I am going to mount eventually, and I have the brother to this one that I haven't mounted yet. And if you can see past the garbage there, there's my little authentic Dumbeck, which has a wonderful sound. I wish I could meet a belly dancer. Not really to play music for, but you know, I'll do that too. And a couple of things I haven't shown before. This is a wonderful instrument Emil Richards came up with called a puili. And actually the puilis are a traditional Hawaiian instrument, but he made it, stop it. He made it a little more mass producible. So I'll use my chair. And you can hit them together. I have two of those. Just a bamboo sound. I have a rain stick down there, which everybody's heard. And these are my Thai buzz sticks, which as you can see is just bamboo that's been cut out and it buzzes. And there's actually a hole. Well, there it is. There's a hole where you can change the pitch or do a little wah-wah effect. Not very good at that yet. And then there's its its little brother, same idea, just smaller. If you listen to my solo stuff, especially woodwork, those are going to be in there for sure. And I have to say one more thing. I've said this before. It's very important to understand miking if you're a percussionist, because most studio engineers have no idea how to mic percussion. I have a microphone to the right that's sort of out in the middle, just to pick up all of this and everything else. I have two overheads. They're condenser mics, so really they could pick up everything, but I want a little bit more definition than that. And then, don't know if I can get, there's a microphone right there behind this little cluster in the middle, just to pick up those sounds. And then I have another mic, which, as I said, is positioned weirdly because I'm going to play frame drums later, to my left, that's really meant for playing frame drums or any kind of hand drum that I need to pick up. And what I do, please correct me if I'm wrong about this, but what I like to do is keep all the microphones hot and pick up the intricacies of the frame drum with this one, and then I try to fix everything in the mastering process. So that's honestly not all I own, but that's the main setup right now, and I hope you enjoyed it.